What's up, Taiwan? I'm Louise with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Prosecutors have indicted an army colonel on charges of spying for China. It follows a string of cases of Taiwanese officers caught working for Beijing in recent years. John Van Trieste has more.
Alleged spy Xiang De-en poses with a piece of evidence that could put him in jail. In this photo, the Taiwanese army colonel stands in his uniform, a handwritten pledge of loyalty to China in hand. China claims Taiwan as part of its territory, and though Xiang is tasked with Taiwan's defense, his note says he'll work to advance China's goal of taking the island country instead. Investigators have been on the case for months. Now they're going public.
曾经担任过记者以及旅行社负责人的绍兴男子，那遭中共的情治机构所吸收，从105年起就开始接近这位向姓军官。
By 2019, Xiang was spying for China too. From then on, he received monthly payments in exchange for sensitive information. By January this year, he'd received around $18,000 US. Prosecutors are seeking a 12-year sentence.
不法收贿，从事通敌叛国行为，强烈打击民心士气，严重危害国家安全，请从重处刑，并宣告褫夺公权及没收犯罪所得。
While Xiang's case has made headlines, it's not an isolated one. In the past 10 years, more than 20 active and retired commissioned officers have been indicted for spying on China's behalf, some as recently as in June. In addition to giving bribes, Chinese agents have wined and dined their Taiwanese recruits, offering them expensive gifts and free trips. The military says it's stepping up efforts to root out spies within its ranks.
已经针对内部具有伪藏征候的人员实施深度的考核，那么未来也会持续的强化官兵反情报教育，并且跟国安单位密切协作，共同反制中共渗透搜情。
But China has vowed to take Taiwan by force if necessary, and it shows no signs of abandoning its efforts to gather intelligence that could help it do so. Damon Lin and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Officials in Taidong County in southeastern Taiwan are hoping the weather will improve so they can deliver ballots to islands ahead of Saturday's elections. Passenger ferries were meant to transport more than 800,000 ballots earlier this week, but wind, rain and choppy seas have seen ferries cancelled. If the weather doesn't get better, the Coast Guard will step in and deliver the voting slips. According to Taiwan's election law, ballots must reach outlying islands 3 days before voting begins. Taiwan politics has long been dominated by two main parties. Now a third group is hoping to change that. The Taiwan People's Party is trying to forge a middle path on the question of how to handle China. Stash Butler has more.
Blue, green, or somewhere in between. The Taiwan People's Party, or TPP, is the country's third force. It's a new party founded just 3 years ago by Taipei Mayor Ke Wen-je. And it says it's above the bitter binary divide between Taiwan's ruling party, the pan-green DPP, and the main opposition, the pan-blue Kuomintang.
So I think it's a light blue or light green. I'd rather use another term, light whatever.
But what does the Taiwan People's Party stand for? Political scientist Lev Nachman says parties in Taiwan usually define themselves by their policy on China.
This is what makes Taiwan fundamentally different from most democracies, is because Taiwan is contested. Our fundamental political issue here is not typical left-right issues. It's you know, who are we, where are we, and what's our relationship with China going to be in the future, and what's the direction of Taiwan going to be in the future.
Taiwan's ruling DPP says Taiwan is already independent under its official name, the Republic of China. It says the country should protect its autonomy by being less reliant on China for trade. The opposition Kuomintang, meanwhile, agrees that the ROC is a sovereign state, but it's much more open to ties with Beijing. China, for its part, sees Taiwan as a breakaway province. It wants the two sides of the Taiwan Strait to unite, peacefully if possible, but if necessary, by force. Nachman says it's unrealistic for the Taiwan People's Party and its chair Ke Wen-je to stay out of that debate.
It appears that his desire to position himself as kind of above the cross-strait issue isn't really above the cross-strait issue, it's definitely on the spectrum somewhere.
So what does the Taiwan People's Party want? Senior official Leonard Zhao says the party plans to defend Taiwan's sovereignty while still talking to Beijing.
Dialogue instead of decoupling, cooperation instead of some confrontation. But confrontation, I think, serves no people.
True to that stress on dialogue, People's Party chair Ke Wen-je has kept an open channel with Shanghai during his time as Taipei mayor. But now his 2 terms are up, Ke is considering a run for president. If he wins in 2024, it would put his approach to the test. Ke is confident he can talk to Shanghai, but can he talk to Beijing?
Given how the PRC has reacted to not just cross-strait relations, but to Taiwan-US and China-US relations, the odds of there being a meaningful dialogue between Taiwan and the PRC in the short term, I don't think is likely.
The Taiwan People's Party is a new voice in Taiwan's politics. It says it's found a third way through the China debate to build a free, autonomous Taiwan thriving from strong cross-strait ties. But to do that, it'll need to convince Taiwanese voters it's ready to govern and fix broken ties with Beijing. Andy Xue, Karma Xu and Stash Butler for TaiwanPlus.
Police in central Taiwan have busted an online gambling ring. It was taking bets on the outcome of Saturday's local elections. Authorities say the ring tried to hide their activities on an online gambling site.
以县市长候选人选举结果作为赌博标的，为了避免遭到警方查缉，他们彼此之间还以台语的“查波查某”作为暗语。
This ring was one of dozens taken down as part of a nationwide crackdown on election gambling. Police have arrested 77 people in connection with such schemes. Rescuers are continuing their search for survivors after a deadly earthquake in Indonesia. Dozens of people are still missing after a 5.6 magnitude quake collapsed buildings on the country's main island of Java on Monday. The shallow tremor killed more than 250 people and injured over 1,000 more. Many of the victims were children. They were taking classes at Islamic schools when the quake struck. A storm-damaged temple in southern Taiwan is becoming a tourist attraction. Eric Gao takes a closer look.
It's been called Taiwan's version of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Zhengxing Temple was built in the hills of southern Taiwan's Jiayi County way back in 1861. But in 2009, record-breaking rains triggered landslides that left the building tilted up to 45 degrees, but still intact. And over the years, the unusual site has become increasingly popular with tourists.
真新奇啦吼，金庙安尼对较悬的所在愈热，另外个保持较完整。
蛮特别的，很像那个国外的那个比萨铁塔。
A viewing platform was set up in 2020, making it safer for tourists to check out the slanted temple.
希望嚟講，伊個感受嚟講，大自然嘅力量，甲社會嘅力量，安尼即係講嚟看咱這裡被講了，即係伊當地是安尼犧牲伊，嚟照顧這地嘅老百姓。
While the building is intact, it's not safe to go inside. Visitors are welcome to check out the temple from afar, but are warned not to get too close. Alex Chen and Eric Gao for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images from Anime NYC, a 3-day convention for anime fans taking place in, yes, you guessed it, New York City. I'm Louise Watt. Take care, and I'll see you next time.